We all know the names that echo through history. Hastings, Waterloo, Stalingrad. They're the battles in every textbook, the ones splashed across the big screen. But what if some of the most important victories, the ones that really forged empires and saved civilizations, have been mostly forgotten? These aren't just minor skirmishes. They are epic, untold stories of impossible odds and incredible triumphs that somehow fell through the cracks of history. Today, we're pulling them back into the spotlight. We're diving into 3 of the most overlooked battles in world history. Each one is a story of underdog heroes and unbelievable stakes. Clashes that shattered the myth of unstoppable power and quietly shaped the world we live in today. The Battle of Ain-Jalut, 1260 in the mid-13th century. The Mongol Empire was less an army and more a force of nature. After leveling Baghdad in 1258, it seemed nothing could stop them from sweeping across the rest of the Islamic world. The Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt was the last major power left standing. When Mongol envoys arrived, demanding surrender, the Mamluk Sultan Qutuz gave them a brutally clear answer. He had them executed. It was an unmistakable declaration of war. What happened next should have been another routine Mongol conquest. But then, fate intervened. The Great Khan, Munji, died back in China, forcing the Mongol commander Hulagu Khan to take the bulk of his army and head east for the succession crisis. He left behind a still dangerous force under his general Kitbuka, estimated at somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 troops. On September 3rd, 1260, at a place in Palestine called Ain-Jalutor, the Spring of Goliath, the 2 armies finally met. The Mamluks, led by Sultan Qutuz and his brilliant general Baybars, knew the terrain. Popular accounts say they used this to their advantage, hiding their main force in the hills and baiting the Mongols with a small advance guard. Baybars masterfully turned the Mongols' own signature tactic, the feigned retreat against them, luring Kitbuka's army straight into a trap. The hidden Mamluk forces swarmed out, completely surrounding and crushing the Mongol army. The victory at Ain-Jalut was a seismic shock. For the first time, a Mongol army had been decisively beaten in an open battle in the Middle East, while the Mongols would return to fight in Syria again. Their aura of invincibility was shattered, and their advance toward Egypt was stopped cold. The Battle of Talas, 751. Now, let's jump back 5 centuries to the year 751. On the banks of the Talas River, in what is now Kyrgyzstan, here, 2 of the world's mightiest empires met for the first and only time. The Arab Abbasid Caliphate, expanding from the west, and China's powerful Temps dynasty pushing east. For 5 days, they battled for control over the Silk Road and the future of Central Asia. The battle hung in the balance until the Karlak Turks, who were supposed to be fighting for the Temps, suddenly switched sides and attacked the Chinese army from behind. This betrayal was catastrophic and led to a crushing defeat for the Temps. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Talas wasn't the single knockout blow for Chinese power in the region. A massive internal conflict, the An Lushan Rebellion, erupted a few years later and played a much bigger role. Still, the battle was a pivotal moment. It helped cement Islamic influence in Central Asia for generations to come. But its most profound legacy might just be technological. According to traditional accounts, skilled Chinese papermakers were among the prisoners taken by the Abbasids. While the transfer was likely a broader, more gradual process, the battle is often seen as a key event that helped introduce paper to the Islamic world and, eventually, to Europe, fueling the spread of knowledge for centuries. The Battle of Didgori 1121. In 1121, the Christian kingdom of Georgia was facing an existential threat. A massive coalition army, led by the Seljuk Turks, had gathered to wipe the small nation off the map. While old chronicles give wildly exaggerated numbers, modern historians agree the invaders vastly outnumbered the Georgians. King David IV, known as David the Builder, could only cobble together an army of about 56,000 men. A mix of Georgians, Kipchak, mercenaries, and a few European crusaders. Outnumbered, David had to rely on pure strategy. He carefully chose his battlefield, the narrow, wooded Didgori Valley, where the Seljuks' massive numbers would be a hindrance, not a help. And what a strategy it was. According to the Georgian chronicles, David's plan kicked off with a stunning piece of military theater. On the morning of August 12th, 200 of his cavalrymen rode toward the Seljuk camp, claiming they wanted to defect as the Seljuk commanders gathered to receive them. The Georgians pulled out their hidden swords and went to work, creating chaos at the top. At that exact moment, David ordered the main charge, while his sons slammed into the enemy's flank from a hidden position. Caught completely by surprise with their leadership in turmoil, the huge Seljuk army panicked and fled. The Georgian victory was total. The triumph at Didgori was, for the Georgians, nothing short of miraculous. It was the defining moment that secured their kingdom's future, paving the way for the recapture of the capital Tbilisi the next year, and kicking off what historians now call the Georgian Golden Age. From the fields of Palestine to the mountains of the Caucasus, history is full of these hidden turning points. They're proof that the world we know was never a sure thing. It was forged in moments of daring strategy, unexpected courage, and in battles that absolutely deserve to be remembered. If you believe that history's forgotten stories deserve a voice, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. And let us know in the comments, what overlooked battle should we cover next?